Hey y'all, this Tay Rudy, and this is gonna be like my first main video that I make for YouTube. Hopefully it bring more to you. But I just want to get up on here and talk about staying where you are while God got you there. I know some of y'all at jobs and you don't like it. I know some of y'all in relationships that's hard right now, but you'll get through it. Sometimes that's life, that is. We all be in spots that we don't like. And I know sometimes when you at these jobs, you deal with these grouchy managers and you deal with some of these grouchy employees. That's a normal thing. We all go through it. And I know this pandemic though too in America's been a lot. And I know though too for black people in America, this whole George Floyd and all of these cops shooting, killing us have been hard. But we'll make it through it. We just gotta remember we gotta put our foots in, we gotta put God first, and we gotta stick to it, and we gotta fight for justice. And it's like this though too, to a certain extent. That's life sometimes. And we didn't go through hard stuff, we wouldn't be as bold as we are. Can you imagine if everything was just easy? We wouldn't be tough as we are. But sometimes though too, God do that to test us. Sometimes he tests our faith and sometimes he tests our strength though too, and some people don't get that. Whenever something get hard, that don't mean you get a chance to run. You got so many people at good paying jobs, but it get boring, or the manager too difficult, or the employees are too difficult, and they run off to something else that's exactly the same. Sometimes you just running into another problem. You do. You got some people that run from relationship to relationship, friendship to friendship. They do. You also too got some that run from house to house. Sometimes you gotta stay put, and sometimes when you stay put, God make you grow. You don't need to be hopping from job to job, relationship to relationship, house to house. You don't. Bloom where you are, and you don't have to be like other people. I know we live in a day and time with social media that we see all these Instagram people with these millions of followers that's making money with houses and cars, jewelry, and all of this stuff, but we don't know what they be going through behind closed doors. Sometimes it just be a front, and yeah, they do have money, but it's like this though too. You don't know what they be going through. I know a lot of y'all look at these YouTubers up here a whole lot, and then we be hearing things about them, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with want to be like people. Nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with being admired. There's nothing wrong with having things. God wants us to have nice things, but he don't want us to praise him. Nothing wrong with a nice house. There's nothing wrong with a nice car. There's nothing wrong with being in a good, caring marriage. Nothing wrong with that at all. God wants all of us in a healthy marriage with our husbands and wives. We do. And that's something we should want. And we should put God first. And we should seek him first. When you seek God, he bring you money, cars, clothes, kids, a good job, business, an abundance of blessings, and he bring you good health and good wealth if you sync up after him. And that's something we got to remember. We do. We just got to keep going, and we got to follow God and not move so fast. And like I said, I know what type of world we live in. It can be a very hard world. I know people get depressed sometimes, and I know people do you wrong. You have so many people out there that just do you wrong. You do. But it's like this, you pray and you ask God to bring the right people into your life. When you ask God to bring right people into your life, you get that. And sometimes you have to be alone. It's nothing wrong with sitting in the house, up on your phone, or looking at Netflix. And it's nothing wrong with getting off work and coming home and getting in your bed. It's nothing wrong with that at all. That's a life thing. If a lot of people would think like that, you'll see a lot more happier people. You would. You wouldn't see them bouncing from relationship to relationship. You got so many insecure people, and you got so many people that suffer from childhood trauma, being bullied at school, seeing their parents in bad relationships, you name it. But there's nothing wrong with being alone. Just because you're alone, that don't mean you're gonna always be alone. Your husband and your wife coming along, bloom where you at. And some people don't get that, but that's a life thing. And one thing we have to also too realize is to treat people right. Sometimes we don't last in relationships because some people don't treat people right. And it's like this, you gotta love yourself, you do. Once you love God and yourself, then you can treat people right. You got so many of y'all feel like y'all don't deserve love. You gotta feel like you deserve it. Or you gotta ask God to tell him, you gotta tell God that you wanna feel like you deserve it and bring the right people your way. And that's a life thing, nothing to feel shame about, and you won't be perfect. I know some of y'all go out in public, you wanna be so perfect, but we all have our slip-ups. We all have our days the way we grouchy or mean, or we don't treat people right. Long as we don't go out like that every day. And you should treat people right. You should be nice. When you go to the grocery store and when you at your job, you should treat people right. And if you got give, that don't mean you have to give everything, but if you got give, and don't let people use you, you know. And I know though too, some of y'all deal with losses. You do. I don't know who you lost lately. I know with this whole pandemic going on, there's been a lot of loss. I know some of y'all ain't been seeing your friends or your family haven't been talking to them. I know some of y'all don't had family members that passed away. That's a life thing. I don't know, and maybe they passed away before the pandemic, or maybe you lost some friendships before the pandemic took place. But you'll get back there. That's a life thing. Everybody goes through loss. You just gotta keep your mind strong and keep it clear and keep it direct upon positive things and keep yourself busy. And I know though too, dealing with certain people that you try to be there for. I know some of y'all been backwards trying to be nice to people and do for people, and they still do you wrong. That's a life thing though too. And it's like this, you're not obligated to anybody. You're not obligated to anybody at all. Anybody that's mean to you, that uses you, abuses you, people that run off and come back, you don't have to deal with them. You don't. God make billions of people in the earth. You can move on to new friendships. If God telling you to stay there and be in that relationship, then you stay there. But if he's not, he's not. No need to let it wear down up on your mental health and you be depressed. There's millions of people out there to blame with. And I don't know, maybe some of y'all having hard times with finance and being depressed. You'll get through it. I know a lot of people go through depression. Like I said, I don't know what you've been through. Maybe you think back to a lot of things that happened to you growing up. Maybe you think back to your mom and your daddy, the way that they treated you. Maybe you think back to being bullied. Or maybe you think back to not having enough. You don't. But that's a life thing. You'll get there. And you don't have to live in a struggle mindset. You pray and you ask God to bless you, and you get up and you work. You do. The more you get out here and go and work for it, God will put one foot in front of another one. You don't have to live in a struggling mindset, a feeling unwanted mindset, a feeling like you don't deserve it mindset. Just because you grew up like that, that don't mean you have to continue to live like that. You can get out there and be something you can. If you keep God in front of you and Jesus in front of you, I don't care who you are, black, white, gay or straight, trans, Latino, Asian or Indian. He died for all of us. And it's like this, God love all of us the same. Whether you're black or white, you do. That's why it's sad with all this racism and white supremacists that take place in America. God look at all of us the same. And it's like this, Jesus is everything. Jesus is black, he's white, he's Latino, he's Indian, he's everything. I know when the white men went across the world in Colorado, they painted everything out white. But that's not true. All skin tones look good. Light, brown, dark, and everything. And especially in the black community and other communities, colors. There's nothing wrong with dark skin. There's nothing wrong with brown skin. God love it all the same. Not just light, but darkness. And there's nothing wrong with black love, brown love, any of it. God likes seeing all of it. All of us is his creation. There's nothing wrong with big love. We just got to learn to keep God first. We got to learn to also to treat people right. And we'll get through it. I know it's been some hard times. I know some of y'all been going through hard times forever, but it ain't going to last forever. Even the Bible says your problems wipe away like water. Water just wipe away. And we just got to remember to get up and keep going. Once you wake up in the morning time, you pray. And you get up and you start moving, you do it, and God got you. And I know some of y'all don't feel like going to some of them jobs, you don't. I know some of y'all don't feel like running into certain people. Maybe you don't feel like grocery shopping, or maybe you feel like you don't feel like driving that day. I know some of y'all live in big cities where there's nothing but traffic. You're like, oh my God, I gotta get up and drive there. But thank God you're driving into a job. Some people don't even have a job at this moment. And way before this pandemic started, they didn't have a job. But you got one. And thank God for your family. I know sometimes your boyfriend get up on your nerves, or your girlfriend, or your kids, but thank God for them. You gotta learn how to be calm and thankful. And yes, we all have our days the way we grouchy. We all have our days the way we go blank. But it's like this, we gotta stay thankful, and we gotta keep God first. And that's a life thing. But I just wanted to get up here and talk about that. And this is my new YouTube channel, Black Manism. My name is Tay Rudy. My name is, and hopefully bring y'all more videos over time. I will hopefully get out and travel and tour and see y'all at all type of venues, theaters, arenas and everywhere across the years, and do this the years to come. And my teaching is heavily influenced by God and Jesus. And no, I'm not a preacher and I'm not a minister. I'm just a motivational speaker and teacher, and it's influenced by Jesus and God. And that's it. I'm just like the rest of y'all. And make sure you subscribe. Go to the bottom and subscribe. And I promise to bring you more videos. I will. Thank you. Go subscribe to this channel. Y'all have a beautiful and blessed day. Hopefully bring y'all more messages. Bye.